Disgusting Saints players make Navy vet pay after he refused to accept Tainted award on their field. Retired Navy Commander John Wells was scheduled to receive an award from the New Orleans Saints during an NFL football game. The ceremony and delivery of the reward to our great Navy veteran was right there in the Superdome when the Saints hosted the Buccaneers, but the Saints got something they didn't expect. Mr. Wells refused the award and stated several really good reasons why he was no longer interested. The award is called the People's Health Champion Award. This award is for people aged 65 and older. And it recognizes people in Louisiana who are known to have exceptional achievements. The award was thoughtfully rejected and Mr. Wells sent the Saints players a letter explaining himself and why he would not feel right accepting this award. Wells thought about it and penned a very stern, yet heartfelt letter that opened him up to the players but remained strict within the confines of his comfort level and explanatory text. Wells' letter read, "Although I am touched and honored to be selected for such an award, the ongoing controversy with NFL players' disrespect for the national flag forces me to decline to participate in the presentation." He admits that he's honored to receive the award as most people would be flattered to be rewarded in the Superdome. However, he simply couldn't step foot in the stadium that's blurred with unclear visions of the American flag. People stand, people take a knee, and there's simply no unity like there used to be. Wells sees that amid the disrespect coming from the millionaire players and he just could not find the willpower to walk into a building torn by divisive protests based on freedoms fought for us by so many deserving troops. The freedom they fought for allows for protest, but stuffing politics into entertainment like a social justice warrior turkey is not the right place or time for their platform of protest. It's the players' right to protest on their platform, but it's the wrong platform, and surely the millionaire athletes are seeing the horrendous results of their actions. Wells' letter to the New Orleans Saints also stated that since this award is tainted with the dishonorable actions of the NFL and its players, I cannot accept it. To do so would be hypocritical, and he's absolutely right. Imagine walking into a place where some of the employees take a knee for everything you fought for but want to present an award to you at the same time. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Perhaps in a far leftist mind that's perfectly sensible, but for anyone moderate or right, that's just common sense that it's nonsensical for a veteran to even step foot in a building where they feel disrespected. The New Orleans Saints, who admit that their crowd boos when they take a knee, responded to the no thank you of the Navy veteran. The Saints organization had a few choice words for the veteran, and this is where it becomes a pointless back and forth thanks to disrespectful players taking a knee to protest. They reminded Wells that they've stood for every other national anthem performance, but there was one game in particular where more players than usual dropped to their knees in retaliation to President Trump calling them sons of bitches and essentially provoking a response. The response to take a knee doesn't make sense because taking a knee isn't an insult to Trump, who has not ever served in the military. It might be a statement in the form of a protest, but there's nothing about taking a knee that will mean anything to Trump personally. If the players were truly upset with Trump's comments, then they should have protested outside of the White House where their protest would make sense. Instead, they chose a pointless and divisive approach that only turned out to be a massive disappointment and cause a lot of fans to shun the game and even spark a few backyard bonfires using NFL jerseys as firewood. The Saints' response was seemingly defensive of the protest and quite disappointing. How do they go from being Hurricane Katrina heroes and winning the Super Bowl to protesting entitled overpaid people who disrespect others? The mighty have fallen and landed right next to their sinking ratings. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell did say after those meetings, "We believe everyone should stand for the national anthem." He added that the league would continue to encourage players to stand. Goodell knows what's right, but he seems very frightened and reluctant to pull the trigger on a ban of taking a knee. The NBA most likely requires players to stand during the national anthem, as I believe it's part of the league rules. Why can't it be the same for the NFL? Is it because Goodell is white and he's scared to be called a racist if he creates a rule that requires players be respectful? It wouldn't be a bad rule for the league to have. Wells' letter commented on the commissioner, and it seems like Wells was unhappy with Goodell's lack of action on the matter. I had hoped and prayed that the NFL would outlaw these disgraceful protests and wanted to give the commissioner and the owners a fair opportunity to do so," Wells said in his letter. "Their failure to act is a slap in the face to all of those who have served in uniform. Men and women have fought and died for the flag that the players are disrespecting. Maybe one day the NFL players will realize they have more privilege than most people on the planet and decide to act respectfully and remember to be thankful for being so lucky. Some people are still begging for $15 an hour while these guys make an average blue-collar salary in a few weeks. Let that sink in."
Let it go.